Hi everyone, Inclusive Model Designs here with part 1 of the Takom 1/35th scale Leopard 1A5 C2. Now I know this kit has been out for a while. I had to buy mine online because I couldn't find them in model stores anymore, probably because they're not doing them anymore. But I wanted to add some Canadian content to my builds, so I thought, you know what, let's do a tank. So we'll get into this here. For those of you who probably know, I'm ex-military, so doing some of this Canadian stuff it really hits home for me. So let's have a look here. The instructions are good for the most part, but a little bit vague. So I thought, I better do these videos for anyone who's doing a Leopard tank. It doesn't have to be Canadian or German or whichever. If you want to do your own variant, then hopefully this video will help you. So right off the bat, I've added some of the parts in. Now, right here, that part and then that part there, they're on both sides. They should be pointing up. The instructions don't really show it. They just kind of show you where to plug them. But they should go up, or like angling up, as you can see. And then for the road wheels and such, for the most part, they're all the same except for two. The instructions do show you, right here. So, and a lot of people, they just cut them all out and then they put them in. You know what? Let's do the A ones first, right there, on both sides, and then finish off with the C's, which are right there. Now, they aren't glued in. I want to have a little bit of flexibility because I do plan to do this on like a diorama. So I want there to be a little bit of flex right there. Not too much, but a little bit. So if you glue it in right there, you're not going to have any flex to it. So what I plan to do is just glue the edge, the tip right here. Because this is one piece, as you can see, that slides in. So I figured just add, glue here, here, and of course, for the other side of the tank here, and that should still give me a bit of flex. It might help aid too if you don't want to accidentally hit it when it's all glued in and break it. Also too, you'll notice there's a little see if I can show you, little nubbin pieces right there. Those should be pointing up as well on both sides. Now, don't confuse that with, when you cut it off the sprue, that's an extra piece. You don't want to cut that off. So just be mindful, and that should be all pointing up as well. Now, like I said, I haven't glued these in. I think what I'll do is I'll paint these separate. I'll just take one out now if I can. I think I'm just going to paint these separate because I don't think having them installed to be able to get paint all in behind there. True enough, you probably won't see any of this once it's all covered. I mean, especially on a diorama, you're not going to see too much of it. But you know what? I want to do this right. So I think what I might do is just paint them up. Not too worried about, these here. You'll never see this, of course. But let's paint that and then install it. So that's as far as we've got so far with this. I am doing other builds, as you can see, my F-15. I'm doing my B-17 builds. Just waiting on the B-17 one right now, just because I have some decals being actually made for it. So anyone who's patiently waiting for the B-17s, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm just waiting for the decals to come in. So once they come in, I'm going to start plugging away at that again. And speaking of decals, I found an aftermarket company, Echelon Decals. Or decals. Now you do get good decals with the kit, but I like to have a little bit of variety in my builds. So these guys here, they make some decent decals. It's a long debate, decals, but I'm gonna go with these, as well as other Canadian content that I will be adding to the diorama. So I'm gonna add some soldiers to it and. Other little things. I'm gonna maybe have this hopefully like it was in a training situation. That way I can have maybe some Tim Hortons coffee cups, things like that. Just be all around Canadian on this build. So thanks so much for watching. Again, this is part 1, and I'm going to keep working on this one as well as my other builds. So thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and definitely comment. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.